Alright, what's going on everyone? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another throwback review. Going to be continuing with my Walking Dead Season 2 throwback reviews for the summer. And today we'll be doing the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2, which was called Bloodletting. So if you missed my first throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 2, I did it on Wednesday last week, released it. If you guys missed that, you want to go check it out, feel free to go check it out. It's in the channel. That was for What Lies Ahead, The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1. I decided because we have so much time until The Walking Dead Season 5 starts, and we have no new content, why not go ahead and watch some of the older episodes of The Walking Dead? Now, some people have suggested maybe I should just do like particular episodes, like favorites. So maybe later on I will do that because there are, between season 4 and 3, there's a lot of episodes there. But I mean, I just did the season 4 review, so I don't really feel like I need to do that again. But with regards to season 3, maybe if I finish all season 2 throwbacks, then maybe I'll do just some select ones from season 3 that were some of my favorites, even though season 3 is my favorite season so far. But that said, Season 2 is awesome, dude. Really, really amazing. When I watched this one today, by the way, you can find this online. It's all over the place. Couch Tuner has it. Just be careful for adware. Don't install anything. But you can watch it streaming online. If you just type in Couch Tuner online, you'll find it. But anyway, with regards to this episode, Bloodletting, this is a weird one for me. When I actually first watched this episode, maybe, what was that now? Like almost 3 years ago, over 2.5 years ago. I didn't really like it that much. Coming after the premiere was so amazing that I felt like this was kind of a boring episode. Part of that was because at that time with The Walking Dead, we didn't really know that they were going to be doing things differently with the series than they did with a comic book. I was under the assumption everything was going to be pretty much exactly the same, but they might add some things in. Nowadays, though, we don't have that kind of safety blanket that everything's going to happen exactly how it did in the comic books that I thought at the time that's how it was going to be. So it makes things a lot more exciting. So at the time when I first watched it, I wasn't that excited for it because I'm like, oh yeah, Carl got shot, but he'll be fine. He'll live, everything like that. Everything will be fine. Instead, with this one, they went in a lot of different directions, and this was when I started to realize that they're not going to be doing everything exactly the same as the books. Now, granted, Shane did live through season 1, but most of the other events aside from the CDC were exactly how they occurred in the books, or very close to, with the addition of Daryl and Merle and some other little changes. So now that I've gone back and watched it now, really love this episode. I thought this episode was really an incredible one. It opens with a flashback sequence. So before the credits, we have the intro, the old school intro, which I like a lot as well too. You see the pictures of Laurie, Rick, and you got Shane in there and everything. So this was a flashback intro, which we don't get too much nowadays, but I love flashback intros. I think we had a couple in season 4, didn't we? Yeah, we had the flashbacks of the prison sequence with Herschel and that, which was good. In this one, we get to see a flashback of Shane as he's going to tell Laurie, when she's waiting to pick up Carl, that Rick has been shot. So basically, you have Laurie there. She's talking with another, mother there, that's picking up her kid as well, or kids, and essentially she's just bitching. That's what Laurie does. Laurie bitches. So she's bitching to her. She's angry. At this time, she's angry because Rick won't get angry at her. He's so calm, reserved, and he always makes the right choices, and he's always in control. So he doesn't get angry at her, and she's mad about that. So she's bitching about that, and while she's bitching about it, Shane rolls in with a couple squad cars and basically tells her that, yeah, Rick's been shot and everything, and then she tells Carl. One of the things I want to say about this episode, upon watching it again, man, incredible acting from everybody. Even Chandler Riggs, when he finds out and he's all crying and everything, when she first tells him and all that, man, their acting in this episode is really great. And definitely Jon Bernthal, Andrew Lincoln, and Wayne Callies, as well as Chandler Riggs too, they really kind of lift the episodes and make them even better than they would have been had you just had, mediocre actors or, people involved. They really are great at driving home that, all the different emotions they're trying to portray in the series. When Carl's shot and Rick's distraught, he behaves just like someone who would be distraught in that situation. You know, when Shane's trying to be supportive of that, he behaves just as you think he would. And same with Sarah Wayne Callies with her acting, finding out when Carl gets shot and she's all crying and everything. You know, incredible acting all the way through the series. So from them in particular, you know, I kind of forget nowadays how much of the focus was on them to begin with. You know, you have the other characters too, like Daryl and Andrea and Carol and the others that are off looking for Sophia. But it's almost like they're background characters at this point, even though they have their own storylines and things are happening with them. So much of the focus and attention is on, you know, Rick, Shane, and Laurie and Carl. So great stuff. So this is the one where Rick's basically running in after the intro. He's got Carl in his arms and he's just flailing all around. And then we first meet Herschel. We meet Maggie, and Beth is there too. But again, she's way in the background. She doesn't even have one line in the episode. She doesn't say anything. And, you know, of course, Herschel's going to operate on Carl. He's going to take out the bullet fragments. He's got 6. He gets 1 out, and Carl passes out due to the pain of it, just in shock, his body being in shock. Rick gives blood, and Shane has to go off with Otis to find a respirator so that Herschel can try to put him under to go ahead and remove the other 5 fragments. One of my favorite lines here is a great quote. One of the best quotes in the entire series is when Laurie basically says to when she finds out that Herschel's a veterinarian, not a vet medic or anything like that, a war veteran or anything. And then she says to him, "You're in completely over your head, aren't you?" Because, you know, she's bitching all the time. And then he replies, "Ma'am, aren't we all?" I love that quote. And he's got a lot of stuff like that, even when just him and Rick are kind of talking in this episode. Great dialogue between the two, and we kind of get that sense that Herschel, even though everything's gone to shit, even though, you know, you have a zombie apocalypse has occurred, he still is full of hope, and he still, you know, he compares it to AIDS, and he talks about how people overcame, and that, you know, they'll overcome this as well. So he's still full of hope, even though Rick has basically lost all hope, which is really cool to see. So really cool to get to see him, you know, when we first meet him for the first time, the family, Maggie, she goes off, and this is a funny one. Andrea, she gets attacked by one walker by herself. Now, granted, she's got a knife, but she doesn't have a gun because Dale took her gun. so you know, the walker comes at her, and she just freaks out. She stabs it once in the chest or something, somewhere in the torso. And then, you know, he keeps coming at her, and she trips over a branch, and she falls down, and she's just screaming her head off. She's just terrified. Now, it makes sense because she just lost Amy and everything, and she hasn't, those characters haven't become accustomed to this world yet of fighting against zombies and how to kill them and become good at that yet. So, and then Maggie comes in on horseback and hits it with a bat and helps her out and saves her. But it's just funny how, like, at the beginning of the series, you have, like, one zombie, and one zombie is that much of a threat that by itself it almost kills Andrea. You know, some people could say, "Oh, it's because the budget season 2 was so low." Well, there was quite a few zombies in this episode. Granted, I know the budget was small for season 2, but at the end of the episode 2, with Shane and Otis, they get chased by a lot. There's a lot of zombies there as well too, which is cool. So it's pretty funny. After that, Daryl tells after Maggie gets Laurie on horseback and then they head off. You hear the zombie moaning again because Maggie just hit it with a bat. She didn't kill it. And then Daryl tells it to shut up and shoots it with a bolt. So that's probably zombie kill of the week for this one. There aren't too many, though. I think that might actually be... Is that the only zombie kill in this episode? Actually, I think it is. One zombie kill. So that's something right there when you think about... We had entire episodes in Season 2 with one zombie kill. That's it. So, but I still enjoyed the episode because it focused a lot more on the characters, and we got to see some great stuff with the introduction of Herschel, the others, some great, you know, interactions between Shane and Rick, kind of, you know, talking about how Rick had been there. He'd been shot before. You know, Carl's in the state, and his job is going to be to stay there and give blood so that Carl can live. So aside from that, I mean, it's just it's a really fun episode to see from today's standpoint because of all the characters that were in it at that time that aren't in it now that had such a focus. It's pretty crazy. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I got to say for it. Oh, there's the part where Daryl gets the painkillers for T-Dog because T-Dog's got that bad infection that Dale mentions. And if he doesn't get antibiotics, he'll probably die because it's going to spread. And then Daryl's just like, "Why didn't you say that?" He goes through Merle's bag. You see the crystal blue persuasion? And then, of course, he gives him the painkillers, kick-ass painkillers, and the antibiotics and said Merle got the clap from time to time. So that's a funny one. So in terms of the score for this one, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it is a really solid episode, and definitely a lot different from where we're at right now in The Walking Dead. A lot different from what we've been used to lately, and a lot more focused on the characters and what they're going through, you know, which is something nowadays that we don't get to see all that much, because the show's become very action oriented, right? Versus where season 2 was more like character focused. And this episode is one of those. It's like a character focused episode. Now, save the last one. The next episode I'll probably do a review for. Maybe I'll do it Wednesday or Sunday of this week. I'll let you guys know fairly soon. Well, you'll see it coming up pretty soon. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. You know, I know it's been a while since you've seen it. Maybe if you have some time. There's really nothing on TV right now. So if you wanted to watch it again, you can't go wrong. I think it's a great episode and a lot of fun to see all of you know, a lot of my favorite characters from the entire series were in the show earlier at that point. Maybe aside from Merle, we didn't have the governor yet. We didn't have a lot of the other characters that come in later on. But you still had Daryl, you still have Rick, you still have Shane, and even Dale, really cool. Andrea, really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say for this throwback review, guys. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know from today's standpoint how you look back on season 2, what you think of it, and compare it kind of to later stuff and what you think. I want to hear your thoughts on, you know, placing it in terms of, you know, which season did you enjoy the most? Which style of The Walking Dead have you enjoyed the most? Because it changes so much. So let me know what you guys think, and those are my thoughts on Bloodletting, and save the last one to be coming soon, either Wednesday or Sunday. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up, like it below. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. I'm saying peace.